Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, back with another overlooked but awesome card, and this one is awesome just purely because it's weird. It is unique, it is interesting, and if you don't guess it when I give you this one hint, then I wouldn't blame you, but congrats if you do. In the entire history of Magic, there is one card that was printed in the Greek language. Not a deck, not a product, not a full set. One individual card was printed in Greek. Now, how and why could that possibly happen? The answer is because Wizards of the Coast. And from my research, that's it. I just found people saying, here's a thing they did. Couldn't find any actual statement about why they did it. So anyway, I introduced to you Questing Feldegriff. And you're probably wondering, well, why did you use a camera shot of this instead of the actual digital copy? Well, this just keeps getting weirder because if you go to The Gatherer and look it up, you get this. And yes, it was printed in English in Planeshift as a rare, but for this promotional one that's in Greek, not only is the image blank, but the actual expansion listed is Promo Set for Gatherer, which I don't think is what it is. I found a couple references saying that this was printed as a pre-release promo. And then, of course, that set symbol on the card is the rare version of Planeshift, and this promo came out in 2001, as did Planeshift. So I can't confirm it because I couldn't find a direct reference to this, but I do believe that this was one of the pre-release promos for the release of Planeshift. So what the card actually does, let me just translate this real quick. That's, let's see, O, pi, I think that's delta. You know what? Let's just switch to the English one. So this is a 4-cost 4/4, and its subtype is Feldegriff, you know, that tribal that everybody's playing. It is, of course, 3-color, and then it has 3 abilities, 1 for each color, which is always pretty interesting. So the green one is Questing Feldegriff, gets +1/+1 until end of turn, and then target opponent creates a 1/1 green hippo creature token. Yeah, opponent. They get a token. Then the white ability is Questing Feldegriff, gains protection from black and from red until end of turn. Target opponent gains 2 life. And the blue ability is Questing Feldegriff, gains flying until end of turn. Target opponent may draw a card. Well, the weirdness was already cranked up to 11. Now it's at about 20, I think. What the heck kind of cursed card is this? I mean, it like anytime you do anything, it benefits your opponent. It's like those stupid horror stories where like you make a wish and then the genie grants it in a way you didn't expect and it backfires. Except you should expect it to backfire because it's right there in the ability. I mean, if you were to pump this guy 5 times the green, you just gave your opponent 5 tokens. So just as a card, not in relation to any other effects or when you want your opponent to gain life or anything like that, this is terrible. This is like borderline unplayable. You give it flying for 1 turn and they get an entire card. You give it pro black and red and all they do is gain 2 life, which actually then you'll probably swing through their blockers. So that one's not terrible. Or you just give it +1/+1, just 1 little extra damage and toughness, and they get an entire token out of it. Your effect lasts until end of turn, they keep that hippo. In fact, unless you make it flying, there's actually nothing stopping them from blocking with the hippo you just gave them. Well, unless, of course, you pump it in response to them not declaring any blockers. But yeah, this card is terrible. It's Greek for some reason. Nobody knows why. I guess this is closest to Greek mythology would be my guess. And also, this is part of a cycle. What the heck? Let's show the rest of them. So first we've got Raging Kavu in Latin. Then, of course, we've got the best of them all, Flying Hippo Dude. Then we've got Fungal Shambler in Sanskrit. And then Stone Tongue Basilisk in Arabic. Or Aramaic or whatever. I don't know. These are not languages I know. Then we've got Laquatu's Champion in Russian, which I guess was considered exotic at the time. And then Glory in Hebrew. Now at this point you're probably thinking that this entire video is one elaborate prank, because that is so totally something I would do. But no, look them up. They actually exist. Why did they do this? I don't know. You'll have to ask somebody from Wizards of the Coast. Is it cool that they did it? Once again, I don't know. I think they're kind of just transparently saying, hey, this is all the cultures and their mythologies and religions that we're ripping off and stomping all over disrespectfully. Which, of course, they've been criticized occasionally in the past for doing. And that was defended in some ridiculous roundabout circular logic way. Oh, hey, Kamigawa, it's based on Japan and Japanese culture and history. And then somebody goes, but that's not what samurais would do, wear, say. That's not how Bushido works. You got this wrong, that wrong, that wrong. Oh, no. This isn't based on real Japan. It's just influenced by it. This is our version of Japan. It's space Japan. But I thought you said this is based on real Japan and real Japanese history, which is odd because in the Magic universe, there is no Japan. So they have this weird, like, cognitive dissonance way of walking the line when it comes to this stuff, which I just find kind of entertaining. I don't really care about it. I just think it's funny. But at least when this promotional hippo came out, they were like, no, we stole the flying hippo from Greek mythology. We did that. That's exactly what that is. But at least that time it's mythology instead of them ripping off people's like actual cultures and actually modern religions, which they've also done. So if you wanted to pick up any of these, they're not too expensive. I'm sure they fluctuate pretty heavily because there's not many of these that go around. But most of them seem to be like $7 to $30. I will warn you though, they are actually pretty hard to find. Like you might have to go to multiple vendors on multiple websites to find even one copy. So, yep, this is definitely an overlooked but awesome card because almost everybody I ran this by was like, when did they ever print a card in Greek? Making them, of course, overlooked, and they're awesome because, well, they look awesome. Despite accusations from some overly sensitive people about cultural appropriation and whatever else. So what do you guys think of these? Are you interested? Do you want them? Have you seen them? Will you play with them? Are you about to buy one? I would love to hear your thoughts on the only cards to ever be printed in these particular languages except Russian. And hey, do you think they should do it again? Let me know down in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next video.